Welcome to Turn Extension, a supplemental podcast for the Advanced Maneuvers YouTube channel.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Turn Extension. My name is Tony, or Polar Bear Cub on the forums.
Hey everybody, it's Kevin.
Hey, this is Gaston searching for paint. God damn it.
Yeah, you're super loud on searching for paint, sir.
The worst.
Oh, there we go. I found it.
Oh, thank God. Now
Why
we
do
can
all
move
the
on.
paint pots look the same?
That's why you gotta put paint on the top of them, so you can distinguish.
Oh my god, that's genius. Really? People
You
do
really
that?
You've never heard of that before?
Yeah,
No, I haven't. Literally.
are you messing around with me right now?
I'm not.
Yeah, I totally like the first thing I do is I immediately transfer my paints to a dropper bottle, and then from the transferred pot I scrape just enough paint to paint the top of the dropper bottle. But you can do it. with
Okay,
any-
like, you
can
just
do it
lost
with
me a
any-
dropper bottle.
Yeah, you kind of lost me too.
That's just what I
why-
do because I hate wasting paint.
well,
But you can take any paint
Why
bottle.
can't you just dunk the brush in the
I mean,
paint thing?
you just dunk the brush right in the container. That's why the pot's there. Why would you
Sometimes
put it into
I
a dropper?
use my finger.
Yeah, but if you're only going to use a little bit with a dropper bottle, you can literally go bloop bloop. Oh, there's only 2 drops of paint, not an entire pot breathing in oxygen to harden the paint.
Well, if you're only going to use a little, then you just tip a fingernail.
That's
not the whole
true.
finger.
Yep.
God, I hate it when Devin's not here.
You gotta get your Coke nail out to get that little bit
Your
on there.
Coke nail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that's why you filed it down to a point, because it's a fine tip.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
Just dip it
Devin!
in, and
What have you done to me?
New year. Hashtag New Year, new me.
This became amazing.
So, we've been gone for a few weeks, which means that we have some stuff to talk about. We missed the ADR stuff, but we can talk about that later on. But the kind of our 2 topics we wanted to delve into a little bit was one, kind of some Warmachine New Year's resolutions for us. And also, later on, we want to talk a little bit about the ATC lists that were just released earlier on today. So I guess I'll jump off. Why not? I have 2 resolutions. One is to finish painting my Convergence army and actually paint it to a somewhat decent quality. And then second is actually to play more than 3 games. No, I only played 2 games this year. So 2 games in 2017. So the goal is to play at least double that. So I'm going to try to shoot for at least 4 games this year. But I think there's a good chance I could do more.
I want to up that, because one of the things that we did on the Facebook page is we actually posted up. I don't know. I think it might have been Solus. It might have been Devin. I'm not sure, but somebody posted on the Facebook page, "What's your New Year's resolution?" And several people came back with that response of play more games, play more games. And I proposed the 2018 AM challenge for the people who want to quote unquote play more games is you need to play a game per month, 1 game per month, and post a photo on our Facebook page to prove that you did it.
So can I do like multiple games in a month and count for previous? Because there's a very good chance I will not be able to play a single game in January or February.
It's okay, you already lied about how many games you played last year.
I played 2.
No, we played 3 games, just you and me.
Did we?
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
See, spending time with you, Gaston, is just a dream. You lose track.
It's so
of time
completely
and
forgettable.
space and-
Wait, does that include the Vassal game?
Let's see, there was that. There was the Grimkin CID,
Oh shit, you're right. I forgot about that.
where you gave me my wedding present.
That's true, yeah. Where I got my ass handed to me.
Was that
I mean,
the
where I
wedding
couldn't kill piggybacks, so I just kept jamming Gatorman Posse into them until they, like,
Yeah,
just stayed in place.
because I
and didn't move anywhere.
couldn't kill Gatorman Posse because they were.
Oh,
Yeah, the Posse couldn't kill you, and you couldn't kill them.
hold on. Did you letting Herman beat you with Grimkin, was that the wedding present?
No,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean it was a big part of the wedding present. I forgot about that. You're right. That was damn. That was a long time ago. I think that was before Addie was born.
So
Yeah, that was in 2016.
why
No,
can't
I lied.
Tony, why can't you in 30 days not play a 2-hour game?
I have to find
Because
people.
he's an adult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a
I,
load of shit.
so I have to find people, and then I have to leave my house, and I'm lazy, and I got a lot to do.
Do not make me get on the horn and get Leclerc, because he's pounding on the door to play you all the time, and you keep ducking him like a pro.
Dude, I gotta duck him, man. I don't want to get my ass handed to me again. Oh shit! I played a game against him as well. I forgot. So I played probably about 6 or 7 games this past year. Damn, go.
It's interesting when you start thinking about it, how that number keeps going up, huh?
Yeah, because I played a game against Leclerc, my first time against Ghost Fleet, and that was pretty painful. Definitely had to lick my wounds after that one. Look at me. Go me.
All right, so I'm gonna placate to your needs, because I think you're insane that you can't pull off 1 game a month. But sure, whatever. We'll go with that narrative. 12 games by the end of 2018.
Okay, I can do that. 100%. I will do 12 games by the end of 2018.
And every time you play, you got to take a picture of the table and post it on the Facebook.
I'll take a picture of the table and post it on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'll do hashtag Overbear plays a game.
This is gonna get forgotten.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get Josh Diaz, and Zach is actually planning on coming up one weekend to try to play some games up here as well. So I'll play against some Kador and Grimkin, and then
where the hell was my invite?
He doesn't want to play against you because he doesn't think he can beat you.
No, I do want to play against you.
He's beat me every time we've played. I don't know why he doesn't think he can't beat me.
No,
he beat me every time we played in the last year too.
That's a lie. You beat me with when I was playing Grimkin. So there you go. Not a lot. You're a liar.
No, he beat you on. You beat him on camera. There's video evidence of it.
I stumbled into a victory both those times.
W's a W.
The point being is, the more you think about it, the more you've actually played than you give yourself credit for.
Yeah, I wonder how many people actually, that's the thing, is that they look at it and they're like, man, I haven't played in the past 3 months. I probably haven't played at all this year. But they're not thinking about, well, what did you do in June and April and the other parts of the year?
That is very true. I think that is a good point, because I legitimately thought I only played the time that you guys came up and hung out with me up here. And then as we talked more, I was like, oh, no, wait, we did do that one. We did do this. We did. Because I remember, like, the time I went down there to go play with Gaston, I legitimately did not want to play. And you ended up convincing me. Yep, you convinced me to just put something on the table.
It was a super serious game.
It was super serious. That's when people randomly started showing up to the like Kevin, you showed up, Solus showed up. I think one more person I think Steve might have showed up as well. And it was very random because it was at Huzzah, which I feel like was pretty good.
It was a good day.
It was a good day.
You started rolling dice and good things happened.
That's true.
That's what I'm trying to get you to take away from this.
I know. I agree. All right. Anyways, enough about mine. What about your guys'? Who wants to go next?
Hold on. You're not off the hook yet. You said you wanted to paint your cock, right?
Yes.
Like, what's left?
So, are they balls? Are you going to paint them blue?
I still need to do all of the balls. I need to finish painting the TEP. I need to finish painting Orion. I have another unit of perforators that I need to paint, and I have 2 assimilators I need to paint. I might actually have 3 assimilators I need to paint.
What about your conflux?
So I'm still debating about the conflux because I don't know if I want to magnetize it. But I guess, the conflux / prime axiom, I need to paint that as well.
Why the hell would you not magnetize it?
Because I gotta go buy magnets. And I'm just not sure if the conflux is ever going to be viable.
Didn't that one guy in that one tournament run it with that one list?
So there's been a couple run with modulators, and my issue is I'm not a fan of modulators. I think they're too cheap, and I don't think they do enough damage. Not that they're too cheap. I think they're just cheap. They don't do a whole lot of damage. And I feel like it's not the play style that I enjoy. It's kind of the same thing where, like, I have the galvanizers. I'm not as big of a fan of the galvanizer spam now. It doesn't play. I think it's a great list. I don't think it's a list that I can play well.
I like how I just completely threw out something with absolutely no knowledge and got it right.
Well, I mean, that's how you play the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just act really confident, like you know all the rules, and people just accept it.
Yep.
No, but I mean, there was a modulator spam that's out that plays with a prime conflicts and Orion, and I think it's an interesting list. I just don't think it's one that I would enjoy playing.
Well, I'd just say proxy it and see.
I was going to say, is that a statement of guessing, or is that a statement of fact if you played it like 2 or 3 times and you know you don't like that?
It's a statement of guessing.
Do you know what makes a list really fun?
What?
Winning.
That is true. It does make the list enjoyable if you win with it.
Just throwing that one out there.
All right. Am I off the hook now? Good. What do you got, Gaston? What do you want to? What's your 2018?
So, because I have the Minions thread, I actually have records of all my games. So it turns out that I played 44 Minion games last year, 6 Protectorate, and an indeterminate amount of Ret. Probably in the ballpark of 15 to 20. So the downside is I only played in 4 tournaments last year, which is kind of sad. So I'm guessing I need to go play in some more tournaments because I need to stop being an antisocial asshole.
I mean, you could, or you could just not do
Trick
that.
people into coming to my gingerbread house?
Yep.
Yeah. I like that one better. So, but no, it was good. I mean, I managed to touch on 10 of the 11 Minion casters last year. I ended up with a 65% win rate, which I think is about where you should be at. If you're winning too much, then you're not challenging yourself, and if you're losing too much, then you're just a sad panda. So, and I mean, I played against, like Fiona, Una 2 when she was a problem, Haley 3, Meowcada. So, I mean, I hit a lot of the painful lists to play against too. So I feel like, I was able to challenge myself, but obviously 44 games is not enough to go to like a convention and do well. And when it's spread across 10 casters, that averages out to like 4 games a caster, which is not particularly deep practice either.
I mean, do you have any ideas of tournaments or conventions that you're looking at that you're wanting to go, or is it really just going to come down to
PAX Unplugged?
You wake up one weekend and go, yeah, I feel like going this weekend?
I think MomCon is the one that's on my radar right now.
That'd be a cool one to go to.
That would be. So that's the one I'm at least toying with.
So it does that, are we discrediting, or not discrediting, but not necessarily counting like Nova Open or something like that just because of the proximity of it, or?
You mean the convention that I never went to?
Oh, well, okay.
Like I haven't been to Nova in like 5 years, dude.
I think the last time you went was when I went with a monster and almost had a heart attack, Zach and I.
Yeah, that's right. We were like trying to pump your chest, but we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yep.
And you were still alive.
I was still alive.
And complicating things.
It was very weird.
Why does going to conventions to you always result in some sort of drama, Tony?
It happens.
Well, I mean, there was that one time with Devin in Koreatown.
Oh my god.
Where the old lady chased him away.
That old lady
You're
came out
not
of
coming
nowhere.
up the stairs.
So
He's
what
like,
you're
it's okay, I like karaoke.
So what you're saying is the next con I need to go to, I need to purchase tickets for Devin and Tony because that by entertainment value alone, they've paid their ticket off.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, I love going places with them.
Dude, I'm telling you, PAX Unplugged 2018 is going to be a thing.
Yeah, I think I might do PAX Unplugged this year.
I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it so hard, guys. I want to
Are you pushing it real good?
So I mean, it comes down to just, at least for me, cycling back to the main topic. Play more games. Unfortunately, I've been playing Minions for so long, I'm pretty much fully painted. I think I have, like, literally 5 unpainted models. So, maybe buy more models?
Ooh, you could buy a whole Signar army if you want.
No.
I think his next purchase may be Crucible Guard? Maybe?
I would need to sell off an army. And, I mean, one of the things is, like, I tried to balance between Minions, Ret, and Protectorate this year. And there's not enough time. I'm too old now.
Oh, going back to me real quick. That's another resolution I have. I'm playing Convergence.
Get younger? Is it
No.
get younger?
I'm going to solely focus on Convergence until I see what Crucible Guard is, and then I might switch over to Crucible Guard.
Stay the hell away from Crucible Guard.
Kevin,
your
we all
pool?
know you're going to play it for like a half hour, and then you're going to be like, I hate this. Let me sell it all again. And then I'll be right there to
I
buy
have
your
not
army.
sold anything ever.
You sold your Signar.
I did not sell my Signar. I traded
You
it.
sold
Okay.
your Legion.
I did not sell my Legion either. It's coming back to me.
So, okay,
After you sold it.
you get the Crucible Guard and you hate it, I will trade you my stuff for it, and it'll be great.
I'm not playing Signar, Tony. I don't care if you give me the army. I'm not playing Signar.
Hey, Kevin,
He
how
has
much
already given you the army.
Yeah, I was saying, how many Gravedigger models do you have?
Almost an entire theme force.
Exactly. Everything but the Jacks, actually.
Which you can get in a battle box. Sold to you by Privateer Press, Limited Liability Corporation.
I still have Jacks from
See?
Signar.
Look, then you're good.
I bet you still have a Stormwall painted up to work with Connie Blaze.
Nope. I gave that to Gary.
Wow.
Wow.
No.
All right, Kevin.
On the tangent of factions, I just pulled up my battle scribe to see what I played, or I mean, phrase that, what I've recorded, because God knows there's times I played games and didn't record it, and I too have played more games than I realized I played. So in 2016, I played 13 games of Khador, I played 9 games of Menoth, I played 6 games of Mercenaries, 2 games of Kriegs, 1 game of Legion, and 1 game of Circle.
So
that sounds like a Christmas song.
It does.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
How many games of Mercs did you play?
6.
Really?
3 of them were in the scramble, and another 3 were just me mucking around in a tournament with double Cephalix.
It seemed just like a low number, is all.
I know.
I was, well, if you remember, most of this year, I was trying to inspire my Khador before I shunted my undead Khador before I shunted them off the side, and then picked up Menoth because I got a Menoth army somehow. And then the Crix and the Legion and Circle was I was walking out and saw the bag of those models and was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Hey, I need some painting help right now. So
no, he's still
I'm really
painting my
bad at
Gravediggers.
painting like trolls blue.
So one of the lores behind trolls is that their skin color tends to represent what their local flora and fauna, whatever they eat. So your trolls are just cannibalistic.
Oh, this is why I love you. Like, how do you know that?
So, because I used to be an avid Trollblood player.
So is it Cardic flesh or is it Rin flesh?
Kardic's the darker one, I think.
Oh, they'll have a suntan.
If you base them in Cardic, you do a like a sepia wash or something like that, and then do highlights. And well, what am I talking about? You're gonna basic in Cardic, and then you're gonna do a sepia wash and call it done.
What's sepia?
It's a wash.
Is that the
Find a flesh tone wash and put it on the model.
I don't have a flesh. I have dark and light.
Light.
I think okay, because that's the one I use for everything that's not metal, and then I have the dark one for everything that's metal.
You don't want to use dark.
Unless I'm feeling exceptionally lazy, then I just paint them all in the white.
You don't want to use dark because if you use dark, then it's going to look like they're standing under a lamp the entire time. Your entire army is standing with the lamp sitting over everybody's head.
A lamp?
Shadows. God damn it, Devin.
I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Just paint your models, have fun, enjoy.
I do what I want, Kevin.
Nonetheless, in the year of 2017, where I was like, I'm going to stick to one faction, I played 6.
I'm so proud of you, maybe.
That's a lot of different models, Kevin.
Yeah, I have a problem. So I've been preaching for the longest time that I just need to find a faction and stick to it, but I cannot find a faction that speaks to me, or it speaks to me as well as Trolls used to a long time ago. So
Trolls are back?
Trolls are back.
I can't. That army legitimately is too expensive to recollect because they're all medium base and their price points are all higher than just about everybody else when it comes to collecting the entire army. So I'm kind of like putzing around with models that I own until we find out more about Crucible Guard. And if Crucible Guard doesn't satisfy my interest, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, just a few more months, man. Hopefully things will be good.
Yeah, I'm legitimately chomping at the bit because I'm in this weird state of I'm going to tell this more for the audience than you two because you two idiots here listen to me bitch and whine about it all the time anyways.
What?
Have you ever looked at the back of the Swamp Whore's head and realized he has butt cheeks?
I think those are gas sacks.
You're a gas sack.
Butt cheeks.
Right. Devin, I'm going to kill you.
I'm going through these models and I'm like seeing all these details I've never seen before.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I want to pick a faction. I want to stay on the faction. I want to focus on the faction, and I want to become good with the faction, because one of my problems with playing Warmachine and Hordes, and can be seen on just about every game that I play, is that I don't spend the time in a faction with the models to properly learn them, to develop the muscle memory, as represented by 13-7-6-2-1-1 in my plays of those 6 factions. None of them got the attention they needed. So I need to find a faction. I need to pick a faction. I need to stay with the faction. I need to focus and learn and become better at the game, because I'm tired of being the 2-2 player or the 1-3 player. I want to be the 3-1 or 4-0 player.
Can I make a suggestion?
Play more games?
That too. Kador.
Or Convergence. Faction buddy.
We've
He doesn't need to start a new one. He already has 8 factions.
Convergence. I hate the aesthetics of Convergence. Yeah, we had a conversation around it where I did pros and cons and what drew me to and all that stuff. And I think the 4 factions that had the least amount of cons versus pros. I can tell you here, Herman. It was Kador, Trolls, or the other 2.
Crix,
and
Protectorate.
Was it Protectorate?
Yep, you don't like them, but they like you.
I don't like them. Yeah, those are the 4 that I was kind of stuck with trying to figure out, and then I ended up trimming it down, and we figured out to Kador, and then I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to play Kador, I'm going to play Kador, I'm going to play Kador. 2 weeks later, I was like, Crix looks pretty cool.
That's why I've stopped dojoing with you. I'm not encouraging this shit.
I sent a list to Herman, he's like, nope, not talking. So I think my 2018 is, by the time 2018 finishes, I need to lock a faction. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Oh man, I cannot wait to come back to this 51 weeks from now. I mean, okay, how many of each did you play this time around, Kevin?
No, that's not, You're not taking a year to lock a goddamn faction. You're doing it right now.
No, let's give them 6 months, because let's see what Crucible Guard, because Crucible Guard will, the CID will come out in April, and then we will see the final rules by July. So
which means that half of the year will be gone with him playing random ass crap.
Yeah, no, but look, see, but if in April CID looks really good, right? What we saw was there's very, very minor changes from the end of a CID to rules release. So if Kevin starts playing, likes that faction, starts playing them, that's going to be great. But if at the end of CID he doesn't like the faction, or at the beginning or whatever it is, then it still gives him a couple of time. I would say let's give him until the end of July. That's 7 months.
Absolutely not.
You're killing me, Smalls.
No, there's
you gotta give him time to see, because
there's a very specific reason.
If he likes Crucible Guard, I think he should pursue that.
I concur with that. However, Cupcake.
Which
in
one?
That 6 months, it's only
Which
3
one's
weeks.
Cupcake? Him or me?
Yeah, I know. Who's the Cupcake?
One of you is Sally, and the other one's Trisha.
Damn it.
I choose Sally.
That's fine. Trisha, Tony, it's the same thing.
Actually, yeah, that worked out better than I expected. That is 2 weeks worth of gameplay out of 6 months for that CID.
Might be 6 weeks.
It might be, but we're going to go with the lower end.
Okay.
Which means that he needs something to be playing in the meantime.
Well, he can test out other stuff beforehand, but to say that he needs to lock into a faction right now is saying that he can't even explore. He had
last year to have his experimental phase.
my bi-curious phase.
Yeah, that was your college phase. Now you gotta settle down.
So come on, I think a
Guard.
podcast is a perfect way to force you to decide. Come on, what are you gonna play? 6 months. You got to give me 6 months.
No.
And I'll even give you some relationship break time for cheating with Crucible Guard.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, you did force me into agreeing to doing at least 12 games on the cast.
This is about resolution.
Don't say it's anything different.
That's not me.
Kevin, you have to make a commitment. this year. Right now.
I will make a commitment this year.
On the need. Come on.
By the end of the year, we will have figured out what it is.
No. Oh my gosh, you are so high maintenance.
You are high maintenance.
Yup. I will not deny that one bit. The other thing I want to do this year is one of the things we were talking about. So we got together as the AM crew for over at Gaston's place for New Year's Eve, and a lot of us were talking about the fact that 2017 was a really bad gaming year for a lot of us on this channel. Like
a lot of life happened.
Life happened to us.
Yeah.
And still there's still some remnants happening here and there that hopefully will resolve itself for all of us in the next, month or two. Nothing like horrid per se, but well, I won't sully other things. But for me, it wasn't extremely horrid. It was just time-consuming and really heavy, and it made playing games damn near impossible. But more importantly, going to tournaments damn near impossible, and going to conventions completely impossible. I don't think I went to any convention, even Nova Open, which was in my backyard. I was there for an hour and then left.
Wow, you showed up to that.
I'm debating. I don't even think I saw you
I'm not even being
that
sarcastic.
day.
I'm not even being sarcastic.
I literally walked in, walked around, saw the games, bought some bases at Cool Mini or Not, talked to Devin for a little bit, played Gary in a game real quick, so it wasn't hours, like an hour and a half or two, because Gary kicks my ass real quickly, and then left because I had to go deal with some other stuff. So we've already kind of sat down and said we want to get more games in, and to that extent we want to get more tournament games in and conventions. So I think a couple of us are going to a local tournament on the 20th. I know Devin's pushing for a couple of us to go to a tournament next weekend.
Nope.
And then
that resolution ended pretty quick.
And then we're talking about tournament or for conventions. I think Pokey's dragging me to Lock and Load.
Holy crap!
That'd be
You're
fun.
gonna try to go this year?
Yeah, that seems to be the thing.
Remember
Wow.
that one year where they're like, "Hey, man, the new edition is the year to be there."
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
but
you're really good with paint. That Cardic Flesh actually worked quite well on his butt cheeks.
it's pretty good for a blind person.
Does he have is this an ink shooter or is this just a cleft chin?
No, it's a cleft chin.
It is a cleft chin?
He shoots ink out of his asshole.
Okay, so that's what the butt cheeks are for.
No, under him.
Oh.
You don't see his ink shooter.
Huh.
The butt cheeks, as you call it, is how he breathes. Come on, man. National Geographic. Pull it up on YouTube, everyone.
Apparently you and I just need to do painting with Gaston and
This sounds like a horrible idea. But
I am just discovering this squid.
oh God.
That sounds really bad.
Nope. Tony, step away. Step away.
Fine.
But with the concept of MomCon, one of the things, and this is something I always preach, is that conventions are always 100 times better when you go with friends.
Agree.
Hands down.
Really?
I've yet to ever go to a convention where going by myself was more fun than going with friends. Merely because as we already discussed, Tony and Devin are amazing entertainment value.
Okay, yeah, there's some truth to that.
So maybe I can con Pokey into changing Lock and Load to MomCon?
Don't change your plans for me because I have no idea if I'm actually going to do it.
I mean, Lock and Load would be pretty cool, especially if you enjoy, Crucible Guard. You can pretty much pick everything up there. It sounds like it'll be hopefully it's the same as how Grimkin was.
Oddly enough, I'm more excited to go to the harbor and the restaurants down there than I am the actual con.
There is some
my
really,
God.
really good food in Seattle.
It was good food. I don't think I would ever go back to Lock and Load again, but that's just me.
I will say we played the most games of Warmachine at any convention.
At Lock and Load? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. We played a shit ton of games at Lock and Load because that was all there was to do. There was nothing else. There wasn't the excitement of everything else, it was really just Warmachine. And you went to the store. Once the store was done, you can go to some talks, but I don't think they had a lot that year. Everyone was just waiting for. Everyone was just. Huh?
Devin was participating in a lot of things.
Really? Okay. Well, I wasn't. It was really just waiting for Mark III, which was I think that was my biggest gripe. Was I was annoyed having to play Mark II games when I knew Mark III was coming out in a day or two.
See, but is that souring your opinion of Lock and Load, that you wouldn't go because you think you're going to have that same lull of interest, whereas going on a non-new edition would be you're getting what you want all the way through, except for like if you're looking for the new faction or something?
I mean, potentially, yeah. The other thing that sours it is it's a 5-hour flight. And I don't want to spend that much money.
East Coast to West Coast is freaking crazy on the expenses.
Yeah, and like I just don't want to spend that much money. It's just too much money for me right now for at least the next couple of years.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
The jabby bits on the swamp horror, what do you paint those?
The end of its tentacles?
Yeah.
Usually just a darker color, but since you went flesh colored?
Oh, well, it's purple, and then it's got a fleshy butt.
I'd probably do like a dark gray or a black for the jabby bits, as you call it.
Okay.
So
it's
one of those situations where I definitely want to go to a convention. I know that when
PAX Unplugged.
PAX
well, I mean,
Unplugged
I think PAX Unplugged is an easy one.
That's an easy one. That's the one I'm pushing for everyone to go to next year.
I don't think you're going to have to push hard.
I'm thinking more, like, I was talking to Pokey about it, and it's like, I tend to do, like, one major con a year, or I used to. So if I do Lock and Load this year, and then next year I do Las Vegas Open, and then 2020 we do Gen Con, because my gut says Gen Con 2020 is going to be an amazing show.
Why?
My running theory is just the numerical sequence. There's so many sci-fi things that happen in the reference of 2020 that I think Gen Con's just going to take that number 2020 and run with it.
What sci-fi thing?
Books, movies.
I have never. What book or movie is 2020?
Hindsight is. I'm hilarious.
Come on, hit me with it, Kevin.
No.
Kevin, that was hilarious. Don't even
Did I
pretend.
just ruin Gen Con?
Great job. You've ruined. You're the reason we can't have nice things. That's really what it is.
My favorite moment at Gen Con was the year that they had the biker convention going on at the same time. So they had like this four-way stop in the middle of the kind of the convention area for the cars. And the Ghostbusters van had pulled up, Ecto 1. And then right next to them, these bikers in all their leather pulled up. And so the bikers in all their leather were staring at the Ghostbusters in all of their suits. And they were like, respect.
I figured your biggest Gen Con memory would be the middle of a giant cosplay marching parade. You decide that it's time for you to cross the hall, and you literally stop the parade so you can walk through.
Which year?
Whichever year that everybody else seemed to follow you, and it was like you led the charge and 20 other people crossed the river with you.
That's because they are all desperate to cross, because that is the most poorly conceived idea ever.
Fact.
Let's split the venue in half.
I don't know if this is an eyeball or a barnacle, but I'm painting it.
He's only got 2 eyeballs.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're up by his ass cheeks.
Damn, then this guy's got like 8 now.
I'm proud of you, Herman.
So
the best part is like this is all really serious. I'm not joking. He has 8 eyes.
I am. Yep, sure. They're probably scales, not eyes, but.
All right,
he doesn't have scales.
So we do only have a little bit of time left because my bedtime is in like 13 minutes, and I'm an old man.
And I keep distracting us. Sorry.
So we got our resolutions. The one thing I did want to touch on is actually the ATC.
Yeah.
So this is what I found interesting. So there was a lot of people submitted, and because the ATC, it's the American Team Championship, so there's a lot of teams. I just wanted to go through pretty much the factions, and by faction, how many people are playing. These aren't how many lists are submitted, these are how many people. So Signar had 17 players. Crix and Circle both have 16 players. Grimkin has 15. Scorn has 15. Rhett and Kato are at 13. Protectorate is at 12. Mercs and Trolls both have 11. Minions have 8. Legion has 7. And Convergence have 4. So that's a pretty good spread for the most part. Everything really except for Minions, Legion, and Convergence all have a good amount of people playing.
That's actually a high number for Minions.
Well, it's a really high number for Minions. It's pretty much the average for Convergence at this point, what we've been seeing lately.
I think it was more of a, like, I noticed that Snarky posted on the Nova Warmachine and Hordes Facebook group that he posted up the stats for it, and it was one of the situations I was looking at, like, maybe I'm horribly wrong on this, but this seems like the first time in quite some time that a tournament came out and there was a very... I mean, there was an increasing line. There were some factions, obviously, that had more than others, but it seemed very stable up to the last 3.
I think it is.
There's
it makes me
definitely
very jealous.
Drop off, too. I mean, when you start with 17, then what, 16, 15?
Yeah, it goes 17, 16, 16, 15, 15. Then it drops down to 13, 13, 12, 11, 11. Then you got 8, 7, 4.
So, I mean... It's much better than it has been. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it has been.
But then one of the other things that was brought up in the discussion thread on that Facebook feed was, is that a representation of the game is reaching a point where every faction has a chance, or is that a representation of the team format, or a combination thereof, or what?
I've always hated the team format argument. It's not like I'm going to bring an oddball list in the hopes of like goofing somebody when my team is depending on me. I'm going to bring my best effort.
That's true. You are going to bring your best effort, but also it allows you, I feel, to specialize certain lists where you say, hey, look, I'm going to build this list that it cannot deal with Crix. So if we go up against a group that has Crix, I cannot pair against them. Not necessarily that I'm playing a different faction, but these are the 2 lists that I've built. These lists are really good against all these other, but cannot handle Crix at all. And I think that's where the difference is going to be, not necessarily about the faction breakdown, but more so about specifically with the lists and what the lists are. The lists aren't going to be as balanced to try to deal with an all-comers as much as a normal tournament list will be.
I mean, that seems fair.
I mean, I said it. I said it in our group message. I said something on the Convergence page, but I'm gonna say it again. I am very jealous at how well represented Grimkin is. The fact that they had 15 people are playing Grimkin, I am super jealous for that being a sub faction. It is that popular.
Yeah, but how much of that is newness? How much of that is people have been playing Grimkin because they're learning them in their muscle memory, so they're taking that faction to this because they've been playing it most recently, as opposed to one of the quote-unquote big boy factions.
Yeah, but you never saw that when Convergence first came out. When Convergence first came out, and I feel when Convergence was extremely powerful during Mark II, you still did not see that many people go into tournaments like that. You still only saw like maybe a quarter of people playing Convergence, and then it died off relatively quickly. Here, I feel like you're consistently seeing more and more Grimkin.
I think Convergence was also hurt pretty badly by its release schedule.
That's true, and that is true. It did take a little bit over a year for their final models to come out, and it was spread out a lot. You didn't have your TEPs for a long time. You didn't have the Colorary for the first 8 months, I think, when the faction was out. I mean, the TEP didn't come out till a year and a half later, maybe 2 years after they had been released.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that was a lesson learned for them with Grimkin, that they decided to release Grimkin out in a solid chunk. So I don't know. It's just one of those situations where I know a lot of people are like banging the drums of, see, the game is balanced. And I think that this may be a reflection of that, but I don't necessarily think that it's a solid statement to be like, of course the game is balanced because look at this spread. It's perfectly, it's nice and even. I think it's, okay, maybe the conversation's there, but I think everybody can kind of hold up the flashlight and go, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. Like CID is a thing because the game's not perfect.
So, and you're also seeing the CID meta, because if you look at the minions list, there's only one pig list out of all of them. And Gators just went through CID. Yep. Legion hasn't been through CID.
Legion is about to go through CID, so hopefully we do see a change in that. Trolls, I think during recent big tournament, I want to say Warmachine weekend, they weren't represented at all. And after CID went live, now they have 11 players.
And I think there's a substantial amount of Kolgrima in there as well.
I would not be surprised. Let me actually take a look at that. So Kolgrima has 5. Madrick 1 still not. Madrick 1 has 9 lists, and he's in 9 lists. Kolgrima is in 5.
Yeah.
So that's
the troll CID.
That's the entire. That's all the players.
Yep.
That's 14 lists.
And then Band of Heroes.
Oh, that's kind of ugly.
Is not 9 of the themes are Band of Heroes. Only 5 are Storm of the North, which I think is interesting.
So I don't know. I think it's definitely there's representations of CID impact here within this. As well as Grimkin being new and stuff like that. I think even some of the most I don't want to say bitter, but naysayers of it have come out and said Mark III is probably the best edition so far, but it has work to do.
Yeah, I think that was the issue too. It has work to do. It's taken it'll take about 2 years for them to actually get it to where it should have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
which is unfortunate.
Of it is just undoing crap that they did.
It is. Yeah. It's a lot of it's undoing crap they did. It's really maybe they should have went back to what we did when we went Mark 1 to Mark 2 and doing the open playtest. That it was a painful experience I know for Privateer Press.
Yep.
But they're essentially, they're doing it now through the CID. Through the CID, they're doing the playtest. They're just doing it in a more focused, hey, we'll take this thing at a time. And
I think one of the things people need to keep in mind, because I hear a lot of people who are getting tired and frustrated of people venting about the problems with Warmachine and Hordes. Don't hear the words, it's a good addition, but it has still ways to go, as negative. Because the first step in getting over a problem is identifying there's a problem in the first place.
That's true, and I'm really happy with how CID has progressed. I was very concerned at first. I think as a lot of other people were, that was going to be a thing where, hey, look, whiners are going to whine and they're going to get the big voice. But when, Hungerford came out a couple times, he was even on our podcast to talk about it, saying that is absolutely not the case. They can cry, does not mean that we are going to change to what they say. It's going to be what's best for the overall game. And if someone puts it in a logical sense and has, good reasons to why, then, hey, it's going to get balanced. We're seeing this probably with when Denny 1 comes out, after the final updates come out, which should be in the next few weeks. That will be a big thing where as a community, we try to destroy her to make her the worst caster in the world. And that didn't happen, but she's more balanced now. But it's better for the game. That
being said, the community does miss things.
The community does miss things. Yeah, I will agree with that. Community does miss things, but I think you're missing a lot less than before.
True.
So, and it was a thing where I joked around about where I would love to see a convergence CID. I don't know honestly what they would do in it except for change perforators and possibly Iron Mother and Aurora. But they'd
have to give you releases.
They'd have to go through releases, and I just don't see Convergence getting any more releases than the once a year, which I'm fine with. I think even once a year is pretty awesome. That's exciting. That's a hell of a lot more than what we got before. So,
yeah, I definitely think that the concept of and we've said it before, that the 12 days or 13 days of Christmas is going to be a great compromise to the fact that we don't have anthology books that make sure every faction gets something.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be nice that I don't think that COC is going to get another caster next time around, though.
I don't think so either. I would really like to see either a Vector, or I'd like to see Cavalry.
But a caster, like Gaston preaches this all the time, the introduction of a caster has such a major impact to the way the faction is played than the introduction of any other model in the game.
And I think that normally a caster is extremely important. I think a caster in Convergence is that tenfold because of how it affects their vectors. So.
Yeah.
Like I had said before, whenever if Convergence got a new model, I had said that I wanted a new caster. So I think a new caster would have more of an impact. And you could see it. I mean, the unfortunate thing, I don't want to go down a Convergence ramp because I feel like I do it every time. But I'm excited to see what the next couple of CIDs will bring, because I think it's going to be overall really positive. I think with the Legion one that's going to come out in probably about next week or two, I think it's going to be really exciting to see what that is. I'm really curious to see what Solus has to say. I want to try to get him on a cast when that actually comes out to see what his thoughts are, because he's been a pretty big proponent of like Legion needs to be fixed. They took too far of a step back when Mark III came, and it made the faction not fun. And just because JVM is playing and doing well, he is such an outlier that you cannot look at the rest of the faction that way. So I'm really curious to see what his thoughts are going to be whenever those models come out. He might still never play Legion again, but I'm very curious to hear what he has to say about the entire thing.
Honestly, I think all faction balance should be determined by Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give it the Chuck Ellswood tag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tony, you just reminded me of a resolution that I said I was going to do.
Okay, what is that?
In 2018, I will not once complain about the TEP.
What? I'm excited. To see that.
It's like
challenge accepted.
Yeah.
It's like those resolutions to lose weight. You break them after a month.
I was saying, because my Orion list is going to have double TEP, right?
Let's see how long it lasts.
We should petition for a triple TEP theme.
God, I'd be so excited. My nips can only get so hard.
But then you'd have 3 of them.
I'd be so happy. I'd have to borrow another one because I could not afford to buy a third TEP.
Can you even put 3 in a list? I guess you could.
No, you can't right now because they're only filled allowance 2.
But once we finish this new theme, you'll be able to.
That's true. Because they're 20 points, 18, 20. I cannot remember.
Can we call this theme these boots were made for walking?
That would be a great theme name. All right. I think that's the cast. Do you guys have anything else?
Nope. Oh, I finished my squid.
Congratulations. That was a really quick squid.
Post a picture on Facebook so everybody can see the multi-eyed squid.
Yeah.
Here, I'll take a picture of his butt.
All right, guys. I want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of Turn Extension. Have a great one.
Good night.
Night.